What's going on, YouTubers, Facebookers, and twatters? Um, Here's my daily recap. Today was a long day. That's why I used the demonstration in the picture of me pulling myself out of the red, because it was kind of all over the place, and we had great alerts, great picks, great everything. Right now, I'm up about 1137. Um, as this has changed, but it seems to be uptrending. I do think it will break 200. It just looks like it's headed that way. It looks like it tested it and it's gonna probably break. The market is likely what is pulling it down. The market has been taking a bit of a dive ever since, around or near the close. So that's a potential trade there as well. TVIX, you could even get that in that in the after hours. But we had amazing picks today, and it just like what hurt me was Roku. If I didn't get in Roku, I would have been golden. And I was even good in Dust. I killed it in Dust, but somehow got distracted with Roku and totally neglected Dust. But in terms of text alerts for the day, let's check them out and let's see what they even were, because there was quite a lot today. Okay, so this is it says here at the bottom who it's from. It's either from Antonio, aka Tony Hedges, or you'll see it's from myself. Um so I'm gonna go with Antonio's first. By the way, we have a $25 special that ends at midnight that will get you into this program. And let me tell you, I am up $5,000 on $6,000 on Lulu. Probably will be up around $8,000-9,000 on Lulu. But keep in mind, I did buy it way earlier, like I don't remember, 11 o'clock or something like that, and it did go up 8 points just in that time period. So you will not make, well, it depends on how much you trade, but I made a lot because I went in super early on this one. I knew I was going to hold it overnight, and I basically sent that out in the text alerts. You can see. I said, I'm taking Lulu on earnings, small share size, covered. Okay, Lulu looks okay, but this is scary. Blah 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 blah. I think that was after it came out. It shot up, but I was worried we were going to get like a bad revenue and it was going to shoot down. But everything literally came out right at once with Lulu, and it did what it did. So that was a good one. And I mentioned it, I think, in the open chat as well that I wanted to take Lulu. I love Lulu. Lulu is a great stock to trade on earnings. It usually does well. You're gonna get hurt once, but that's why you gotta, cover yourself. My sense of coverage for Lulu. Now you can't do covered calls, obviously, on. Although you can use Think or Swim and then trade net and do like hedge your position that way. But you can't do covered calls on TradeNet. So what I did was I made all that money going in really heavy um, while the market was open on Lulu when it went up that 8 points. And then on the earnings, I just went in light. That way, if it went against me, I had made all that money already. I still, even if Lulu had bad earnings, probably would have came out with a $1,000 win. So that was the way I've covered myself, and I've used that way to cover myself before. I've showed this technique on a hot stocks. People will often buy it, pre-earnings, thus making the stock go up. So when you buy the stock that way, okay, so when it's going up 8 points this way, you going really heavy, and then when you wait for earnings, you going a little, you going, short, and that's how you protect yourself. You know, if you can carry out that strategy, you'll usually be good. Unless it's like a terrible earnings report that they're going bankrupt, you'll usually be good at. Typically good stocks, good names like Roku, Lulu, they will go up, or even Apple. They'll all go up the day that they are releasing earnings. So back to the text alerts, and the first one that Antonio texted out was Ava 5540 entry. I think this turned out to be a great trade, but it wasn't. We just didn't end up trading it. Um, yeah, it had the pop in the morning, and I think it hit its target. Let me double check on that. 55. Target was 59. It hit 58, 55, so it was just shy of the target in the morning. Hopefully you would have used your own discretion and would have gotten out on the second pull up, but not a bad pick, not the best, but definitely one you could have made money off of. Um, One that I really wanted to trade today was this one. No, not you, Silv. The other one, D Silv. D Silv, D Silv, D Silv. And that was also recommended by Antonio. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. The next text alert was GBT. Entry point 48.75. I don't think I traded this one. GBT. So 48.70. Whoa. Well, it had a massive rally. Okay, this is the open here. I must have read that wrong. 48.75. Target 50. I must have read that wrong. Either that or it was meant for the pre-market and I texted it out intraday. Oh no, you know what it was? He was hoping for the pullback to 48.25 and I don't think it came. Yeah, it did not come. So this is a no fill. You wouldn't have got filled on this. So this is a no fill. This is like a half win, It was a great shot out the gate, and then it gave you a second one, but it technically didn't hit the target. Again, these are Antonio's picks. And then we have GIII. I did trade GIII for a very small profit, but you can see at the gate it kind of just popped up and continued to go up, but very slowly. And by the way, this is kind of what made me confident into getting into Lulu. Because I said, you know what? This is an apparel company. Lulu's an apparel company. Let's go for it. If I can make some money off of Lulu, then see it's going up now. I think this will definitely break 200. I wish I could add shares right now, but I can't in the after hours. But GII was a good trade. Let me see. Stop loss UID, entry point 2030, target 2170. It hit a 2120, so that was a long target again. So those are Antonio's picks. These were my picks today. I said SIG at open, and I specified that at on the live stream. I said SIG at open. So SIG at open. I don't care. Market order, whatever. So SIG at the open, kind of just like was a little all over the place, up and down, and I was able to pull a 130 off of it, and not a bad trade at all. Didn't do much after the open, but the open was definitely sick. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Um, Roku. This is the one that screwed the whole day up. Roku entry 1691. Um, so yeah, Roku stock, I was literally down around 4,000, 5,000. I was able to get myself out on this pull up here. I also bought options in Roku, which I'm currently down $159, and I have to pay a theta of 63 tomorrow. But hmm, yeah, I should have sold these towards the close, but maybe Roku pops up 3 points tomorrow. Who knows? Just at the open. But I literally held on to these all day. I sold this one for 13 because I was like, all right, finally one positive. But Roku is not the best pick. But let me explain something about Roku. I've been following Roku since its IPO, and I call it my baby stock. I own nothing but Roku TVs because Roku has made me a ton of money. With not trying to sound, arrogant, but I've done well with Roku. But check out the chart on Roku. It has these moments where it's going up, 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 and then it has this kind of like pop down, and you're like, oh, that's it, it's over, and then what happens? It ends up going up, 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 up again, and then boom, it has this pop down. And that's exactly what I think is happening here. I think, boom, we had this pop down, and I think it's going to go back up, 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 up. I think we're going to hit the pivot point of 190. I see this as a stock at about 220, 230, hanging on. It's going to hang out at about Netflix's level. They say that this stock operates better than Netflix. And every time the remotes, every time you hit that Netflix button or that Hulu button, Netflix has to pay Roku. It's crazy. But or Hulu has to pay him as well. So anyway, long story short, I do believe that this will go in the 200s. Its market cap is very small compared to Netflix's market cap. That's why when money gets flushed into it, it moves up rather quickly. Um, And it's used as a defensive stock. That's one of the most amazing things about it. I mean, it's not a utility, it's not real estate, but why is it such, a defensive stock? And when I say defensive, I hope you know I mean not like defense like missiles and aircrafts, but like defensive, where people put their money when the market's going down. People were jumping into Roku like crazy. And of course, what happened? The market didn't, Roku didn't start going up until the market started going down later in the day. So I love this stock. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Definitely going to keep an eye on Hulu. I love that it's rallying already. I think this is going to rally tomorrow, and those options will be worth mega doses, mega money, and then I'll just flip them because that's the great thing about options is you can just roll them and just keep augmenting. What's the word my mentor uses? Augmenting them. You can keep augmenting them and making money while you do it, especially when you have a stock like Roku. So, other than that, we had Lulu. There's more. Sorry, I did not realize. Um, I wanted to do a TVIX short when the market was going up, and that was a good play. Believe it or not, the market was going up, so we went TVIX short. Um, I believe that was a good play. Let's check it out. TVIX, 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 TVIX. That's at 951. 951 TVIX. Yeah, it was a decent play at 951 because it did go. The price said below 16, and it went to 1550. So that's was not a bad play. Just a quick little way to make some money. I mean, if you got thousands of shares, you're making great money on 50 cents. Um, let's see. Roku entry. I added to Roku at 164. I believe the low it hit was 162. So that helped me a little bit. And then I went into Dust. Dust turned out to be a great trade as well. Um, but somehow I managed, like I said, I managed to lose on Dust because I was not focused on it. Um, in all reality, just like today, honestly, not the best day in the world. Not the best picks in the world. Um, and I'm lucky I got this savior at the end of the day, which is by all means a borderline savior. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But not a bad day. You know, 5 green days in a row. Want to go for 6. And that is pretty much it. Let me check the. Let's see. What's up, Ben? Ben. How much do you pay per share in the platform? So 1,000 contracts. What 1,000 options contracts? Or do you mean 1,000 shares? 1,000 shares. It's I heard two things, but it's either 0.06 cents a share, which means you pay $6 for every 1,000 shares you execute, or it's 0.075 a share, which means you pay $7.50 for every 1,000 shares you execute. So yeah, it can add up, but it can also be cheap. You know, it depends on how you trade. You know, I think it's a point. You're right. I'm sorry. 0.006, 0.0075, 3/4 of a penny, or 6/10 of a penny. Um, it's one or the other. I don't remember which one. Um, yeah, it's definitely worth it because of the money that you can make on these platforms compared to people just trying to make money with very little money. It's doable. Somebody left a comment on my page, and what they said was very true. They said if you want to make money with just like a little bit of money, like, whatever, 2 grand in your brokerage account, it's going to take about a year of you losing that 2 grand over and over and over again. And you're going to have to use options, and you're going to have to get used to reading charts. Like, you're going to have to, it's very simple with options. You'll be able to tell when something is rallying, you'll be able to tell when something is reversing. Catching stuff on reversals is the best because the premiums are always lower on options contracts. But if you don't want to go through that struggle, you can always get a TradeNet account. Now, if you do sign up for TradeNet, do let me know. I will add a link now. Thanks. I will add a link to it, but yeah, that's what it is. 350. It's a 350 for a $14,000 account, um, which is not bad. And it's very easy to make money. I have $160,000 account. Um, had I had not had a crappy day and just waited for Hulu, I'd be up about 10 grand, I think, because I would have put more money when I was trading Hulu earlier. I would have put more money into Hulu, not Hulu, Lulu. I would have put more money into this earlier. But I was busy trading other stuff. Man, it looks like the market's getting demolished right now. What the heck is going on? Um, yeah, we definitely might wake up to the market, the Dow Jones implied open down 261. 261, that's my guess. Yeah, we seem a little peaked out here. And notice how when this peaks out, Roku bottomed out, and now it looks like it's coming back down. Roku's gonna go back up. Watch. I don't know. Maybe China talks didn't go well. Does anybody know what's going on? Uh, I don't know. You can do arbitrage by simply so in the morning, right? First of all, you have to know your prices. So in the morning, if you want to do an arbitrage play, you have to literally go pick your stock. Doesn't matter what stock it is. I really, it doesn't matter. And you look at the prices on the options grid, right? And you say, okay, it's this and this is going, for that much. Keep in mind what the theta is. So, say, all right, I'll take the theta off of this. It's 54. Um, so that's around 220. 290. Let me go ahead and put in a low bid here. And that's all you do. That's all arbitrage is you just put in extremely low bids in the morning before like that 15-minute mark of 4:45. Now and I'm gonna get to something else because that's not the professional way to do arbitrage, but it is a way you can do it. So the second you do that and this fills for, let's say, the 290, right? You go straight to your monitor and you'll see, okay, boom, I'm up $60, and you sell right there that quick. Arbitrage can happen in 2 seconds. Um, I'm not actually gonna go get the book right now, but it's too far away, and I've had a long day. All right, I got it without a spill. The professional way to do arbitrage, and if you don't have this book and you want to get into options, um, smarten up. You need to have this book. This is Options as a Strategic Investment by Lawrence G. McMillan. Make sure you buy the most current version. I think that's either fifth or sixth. And read this book, and you'll be able to do anything in the world with options. This is actually how Gary Cohen became the CEO of Goldman Sachs. Options came out in the 70s or whatever, and he didn't know a single thing about options. Purposely hailed a cab with a guy that was like an executive at Goldman Sachs. And the Goldman Sachs guy's like, oh, these options are coming out. We have to open up a new options department. Gary Cohen lies, says he knows all about options. The guy's like, okay, come in on Monday. Long story short, he reads this book, and he was a dyslexic. He reads this book, comes in on Monday, blows everybody's nips, and a few years later, he's CEO of the company. And then he was also the Secretary of Treasury for Donald Trump for a little bit. That was Gary Cohen. So if you don't have this book, you're just gambling. And I really believe that. Because even if you could say, hey, I've been trading stocks for years and I can identify trends and I can do this, that, and the third, and I can see that this is an exceeding Fibonacci and blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter because options have other factors which are pretty easy to learn, like time decay. You got your delta, your gamma, your Greeks, your theta, your which one did I miss? I don't know. I missed one. Um, Now it's annoying me. But options as a strategic investment Why does it fill? What are you talking about? I literally this morning I did that an arbitrage play with one of these, my first play of the day. I got this filled at 5:35. Now, notice something here. I want you to notice something. I bought these 5 minutes apart from each other, right? This $4 one and this $5 one. Tell me why the $5 one, the more expensive one, which ideally should have a bigger loss, doesn't. And I'll give you the answer straight up. It's not that the deltas are massively different or anything like that. As a matter of fact, the delta's higher on here, so I should have lost more. But my arbitrage got me this. I was up like 45 bucks right away. It's a literal game. You literally go to your thing and you say, okay, this is 9.95. You go ahead, you hit buy, and then you put in a bid for 8.50, and you just keep doing that and doing that and doing it and do it all over the board, and all of a sudden you start getting fills, and then the second you get the fill, boom, you sell it. It works. It works, but there's a couple buts there. Of course, It's better. I mean, you don't have to have a lot of capital to do it. You could just be really quick on the trigger, And if it doesn't get filled, you can constantly keep changing the prices. You have to understand that within the first 10 minutes, especially of the market, options prices are all out of whack because stocks are doing this, are shooting up and then shooting right back down. And don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. Sometimes arbitrage can bite you in the ass because it can be shooting up and then shoot right back down. But the value that I was subtracting is the theta, which is the theta is how much your position value will decrease overnight. So in the morning, I usually like to decrease the theta, even though technically it's supposed to have already been decreased. I kind of just use that as a marker just in case, you know. So I kind of just use that as a marker. And it seems to work, but you got to be careful because you can't you got to use that at a marker on certain options. If you start going out further and further out of the money, which you wouldn't really do on arbitrage, you would stay more close. I mean, not out of the money, further and further, like out date wise. You really want to stay more inward when you're trading. When you're doing arbitrage. The book, and this is the Bible of options, actually says, here we go, 412. It's not like one page on this, it's like a whole bunch of pages, so I'll just read like the intro type shit. Um, you can do dividend arbitrage as well. So much stuff you can do. So yeah, typically arbitrage and securities market often uh sorry, I can't speak right now. Arbitrage, I'm so tired. Arbitrage in the security markets often connotes that one is buying something in one marketplace and selling it in another marketplace. That's typical arbitrage for a small profit with little or no risk. For example, one might buy XYZ at 55 in New York and sell it at 55 and a quarter in Chicago. And that's literally what you're doing. So when you're buying these, you're getting them basically at one exchange for one price and you're selling them at another exchange for another price. Although most options trading is done as the COME, but I don't understand that, especially option arbitrage. Anyway, I totally forgot this is a daily recap, and if it's 20 minutes, nobody will watch it. All right, guys. This has been Lou from Breakout Trading. Let's see how we're doing right now. Ooh, doesn't look good. Up 102. I think that market is really pulling us down. Well, I'll know for sure tomorrow exactly how we're doing, but other than that, this is Luke from Breakout Trading, and I will see you when I see you.